because I've been doing this now for Mike, for the character Mike, for several years.
Yeah.
But when they said, do you want to do Better Call Saul? And it was something, there are things from Breaking Bad to Call Saul that you'll see an ashtray that's broken, that has a meaning. They'll run the chance of seeing that 5 years later,
Yes.
that to tie it in.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had said to Vince at one point, whatever has happened to Mike has to do with his son. And when they talked to me about doing Better Call Saul, they said, well, do you remember when you talked about your son, that Mike's soul was lost back then? I said, yeah. I mean, I never had a hesitation about doing this character again. I love this character.
Yeah, me too.
We do too.
It's incredible. Yeah, but that is that kind of insight and level of preparation, and I mean, what a fantastic thing.
They're such good guys.
Yeah,
They're such good guys. I mean, for years, I mean, you feel like you hit, because this is my 50th year since I got my first paycheck.
Yeah.
And
congratulations.
Just for living that long. But
amazing.
But it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to go to work. And I mean, I wasn't quite prepared for that.
Right.
Where, because I can be a real crank, and I'm going.
Not you.
No way. I don't see it.
And anyway, yeah, enough. I'm sorry.
So it's still fun, though. It's still fun.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it is like a miracle when you get to be involved with a character like that.
God.
Creative launch point.
So Jonathan, we were wondering how do you prepare? I'm so glad you asked.
That's great.
You know, I go back, because now with this 7th or 8th year, whatever it is, with Mike, and it's Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould's child. But if something appears there that I go, Mike could never say that. What are you doing? He said, and trust me, they go, yes, Mike would say that. I go, no, Mike wouldn't say that. I say, yes, Mike would say that.
Yeah.
And
Have you ever won that?
Only in the rarest of times, because I really do trust him. But I mean, my preparation, what I hate is that you start with a character and then you're still doing the backstory 20 years later. You're still going, oh my God, get out of my head, get out of my head.
Yeah.
And is that true? In some cases that is true. And I love Mike's backstory because Mike has been hard and a lost soul a long time. And I just want, at some point I want the beast to be touched. You've never seen him, you've never touched him gently. And he would collapse under that treatment.
Oh my God.
He wouldn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how I prepare. Whatever that is.
It's great.
I mean, my first film.
Are you next?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you might be.
I'm next.
Was Coming Home, but then probably the thing that really helped was Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yeah, dude, the greatest.
That was the best.
hilarious.
Oh my God.
And shooting Mikey in the back of the head. And
Mikey, yeah.
and Jimmy and I just had lunch together the other day
Wow.
too.
Did
And
that lead to 48 hours, or was 48 hours before that?
48 hours was before.
48 hours was before.
Before,
Before
yeah.
Beverly
But they're
Hills
both, it's 1981, 1982.
Yeah, sure.
A long time. And that was great. And Walter Hill, I'll tell you about 48 Hours very quickly, though. That scene, Nolte could not be more giving. I'll do this as quick as I can. It was first day of shooting, show up. There was no line in the scripts. Jimmy Keene and I go upstairs to shoot it out with Remar, right? And that's pretty much there. Nick comes up to me. He has this tome of notes, and he says, I've been riding around with the San Francisco Police Department for 2 weeks. And I went, oh, mother of Christ. This is some guy that's going to go back every time,
Yeah.
Never saw him again as soon as the camera started to roll. But he said to me, we have a history. He said, we're friends. So thus came, Al, how you doing? How's the wife? Mean as a snake, which is something I heard in my youth.
Was that written?
That's my ad lib.
It's your ad lib.
And then, which I don't believe in most of the time. Guys who try to be cuter than the material, it just
Never works.
grates me.
Yeah.
But that whole thing got set up, and then I come down the stairs dry firing after I'd been shot. And I said to Walter, what if I'm so out of my head I come down dry firing? And Walter said, yeah, let's go with that. Let's try that.
Yeah.
And so thus becomes, God damn, you don't give it to him, Jack.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
And that was Nick Nolte's generosity. And if anybody could have been more of a professional, I don't know how.
It's awesome.
Yeah, anyhow, that's my start.
Wow.
Well, who's going to top that?
Yeah, it's like, way to go, Chris. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
All of you are going to top it. You said, I might not have been the best actor, but I was prepared for all that. And it touches something in me at this age, almost 70. There are a lot of great actors out there. There are a lot of great actors out there. And if you throw your lot into this, we're lucky. We are lucky, beyond lucky, beyond lucky.